Okay.
Got it. Yep, it says it's being recorded.
And according to the outline, we should begin, no, not the outline, the instruction. We should begin this conversation with a statement. This is a simulated fictional role play. So okay, I go start.
You're good.
Okay. Um. Oh, sorry. Your name is.
My name is Jackie
Oh,
Murphy.
Jackie Murphy. Yeah, Jackie Murphy. So hi, Jackie, and thank you for having. My name is Shichang. My pronouns goes to both he, him, his, or she, her. So you can use anyone to refer to as me. And thank you for having a conversation with me today. And uh, I really, I'd really like to work together with you to achieve your goals and or your expectations. And first of all, I want to tell you that my English is not that proficient. So if in some cases I missed what you said and ask asked you for repeating, I hope you can understand. And if I didn't make myself my words clear enough, please feel free to ask me about it. And also, if I inappropriately or wrongly use some words or phrases, please let me know, and I'll appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. And before we start, we want to review consent form firstly. Uh, Here, maybe I can share my screen. Consent form.
Oh, I have it. I'm sorry. I have it too if you want me to use that.
Yes, it is. So you have, but oh, I find it.
Uh-huh. You mean mine? Yeah.
Yes, this one.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like the first step, we should review this consent form,
Gotcha.
but we can pretend that we review it to save time.
Sure.
Also, you have several minutes to read it, and here's the consent form.
Mm-hmm.
And if you feel okay with it, we can sign on the bottom of this form. Here, dun, 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 dun.
Got it.
And here I want to emphasize something is, first, our conversation, our interview will be strictly confidential. Uh, but if there is evidence that you are going to harm yourself or others, I have to I will have to legally report it to the relevant authorities, and that is what I should make you know.
Okay.
And do you have any question about this informed consent?
No, I'm all set.
Okay, and so share my screen. And since it's our first meeting, and uh, I guess we only have about 15 minutes to talk here. And I think today uh, we can only focus on like knowing some basic information and doing some fundamental assessment or analysis to say how I can be helpful to you, and we can decide so that we can decide what to do on the next step.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, can you tell me what brings you here today?
So I have been struggling a lot with anxiety and feeling like I almost I feel like I have obsessive, intrusive thoughts. Like I'm always checking things obsessively and really anxious about some things that I think are important, but some things that I think probably aren't. Um, and I'm not sleeping very well. I mean, I don't always sleep that well, but I feel like lately it's been pretty bad. I eat I feel like I'm a healthy person, and that's something that I really value. And I'm in law school, and I feel like I have everything together, but in reality, things seem to have kind of spun out of control. Um, I realized that I have started to over control with especially my eating, and feeling like when I eat, I obsess over how healthy it is. And I used to be really healthy and not be that way. And now I feel like I've gotten to a bad point where I care too much about how healthy things are, what the ingredients are and how much, but it's all kind of part of this just anxious feeling I feel like I can't really get past.
Just a quick question, you have you're intrusive about the foods you're eating, and does that mean you eat too much or too less, or you're just very cautious about what you eat?
Honestly, I really never eat too much. I probably, if anything, eat maybe too little, but I feel like more than anything, I just am really I think I'm it really I really try to control how much I'm eating of each, protein and fat and fiber, down to numbers. And I don't ever throw up, and I never binge, and I don't really restrict my eating in the amount, but I guess I am pretty. There's a lot of being honest with myself, a lot of obsession with how I eat and what ingredients I'm eating, but not necessarily how much.
So I think we have several issues that we have mentioned, that you're you're anxious and your intrusive obsessive thoughts, and this thoughts about your eating, and also you mentioned that you're you're not get used to your new life. I don't know if it's appropriate to say like that. And maybe we can talk about it one by one. And I have received your form that you filled, and I have some questions about it. Like you mentioned that you are experiencing a lot of anxiety and intrusive obsessive thoughts, and can you tell me more about these thoughts, like how it be, how are they intrusive and obsessive? Can you give some examples?
So you said what, like to talk about the obsessive intrusive thoughts.
Yes, except
So
for the
oh,
food.
sorry. What was that?
Except for the foods that you just mentioned.
In regard to food?
Uh,
Sorry.
except for the food, because
Oh,
you
except.
mentioned, yeah.
So if I don't answer your question, please let me know. I So the obsessive thoughts and like more like I'm really obsessed. Like I really care about like being on time and being organized and like being clean. And that's kind of part of the anxiety, but also like the obsessive thoughts are more like when I'm in the middle of class or when I'm in the middle of homework, just like thinking about like um thinking about like did I lock the door downstairs? Did I turn off the oven a week ago when I cooked or like yesterday? Like kind of really random um obsessive thoughts. And then with food, it's not necessarily like the obsession, like there's not necessarily obsessive thoughts about food all the time, but when I'm eating, it's like, is that like how healthy is this? Does it meet these standards for um like standards I care about the food? Um and if it doesn't, it just makes me really like worried that I'm really harming my health. But I think I'm also like hurting my health by caring so much.
Mm. And like I want to make sure about your source of this thoughts. Like, do they happen recently, or it has along been along with you for a long time?
Um, Maybe on and off. I think looking at my life when I've been more stressed out,
Hmm.
then it's been worse. Or like in times of like change, like when I went to college, when I moved away from home, now I'm in grad school or law school, and I do live really far from home. So I remember maybe feeling this way when I was younger, but it's definitely gotten to the point that like now where I feel like it's worse and present a lot.
Yeah, and mm, so it is in fact not the first time you experience these issues.
Yeah, not really. One of my younger siblings has has special needs, has an intellectual developmental um, difference, and I think around the time when it was really stressful for my family, like figuring that out and
Mhm.
trying to, I mean, taking care of him is some like we always worry about him and it's never easy trying to figure out how to take care of him. So I remember like when that really started becoming a more of a um I don't want to say a problem because he's not a problem, but like when that started being a challenge for our family, including for him, like we just worried about him so much that maybe that's when that really started. But then it like it's there are times it was fine, and then like my anxiety was okay. But now that I like live far away from my family and the pandemic and law school, excuse me, I feel like it's gotten pretty bad because I worry about my family and my brother and my parents and my other sibling. And I am stressed about law school, and so it kind of seems like the perfect storm right now for it all to come back.
Mm, in fact, I have during this first interview, I think one thing we need to do is to do some basic evaluation about because you mentioned some symptoms, um, and in fact, I'm not sure like which issue you think suitable for you because like I got two scales. Uh, one is for somatic symptoms, like for example, your sleeping issues, your eating issues. I think it's some somatic symptoms. But also we have another scale that is for repetitive thoughts and behavior. And uh, like I think there are some useful tools that can help us to locate at what level the symptoms are. Uh, and after we know that, we can take a responding therapy at next time. So in fact, I suggest that we do this evaluation now to get a like a a clearer understanding of our own situation. So I guess um, each skill will take about 5 minutes. And do you mind if we just do it now?
Sure.
Okay, and I will share my screen. Um, Maybe we can go from this one. It's a somatic symptom scale, and you can find there are 15 questions. So it would be silly if you ask you one by one. So you can read and you can find we have three different answers to each question, and uh, each answer have different points. So after you finish all these questions, we just sum it up and to say like at what level we are.
Okay. Um, okay, 12. Maybe, yeah, like
12. Okay.
10 or 12.
10 to 12. Okay. So in fact, we are in a medium somatic symptom, I guess so. And this one is a repetitive thoughts and behavior. So the question we only have five questions here.
Mm.
By the way, I just sorry. I just want to know the words uh, repetitive, repetitive. Uh, what does it really means?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not sure if this scale, if this form suitable for you.
I think it makes sense.
Okay.
Is that what you mean, like repetitive? I think so. Maybe, I mean, I'm trying to add it up. Sorry.
Like in my impression, receptive means like I'm happy to listen to others.
Say that again. Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
I'm just not sure about the meaning of the repetitive.
Repetitive. It's like over and over. Like, is that what you mean? Like doing things like
repeat to do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
I think that it makes sense. It makes sense given obsessive thoughts and especially because especially because I
That's okay.
really want to control food and it's stressful to control all of that. I would say I'm like a 7.
7 points.
Mm-hmm.
And let's check at what level. I haven't found. If an individual has a score of 8 or higher, you may want to consider more details. Oh, I'm a little confused.
No, that's okay.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
So anyway, we have a assessment on this like repetitive thoughts and behavior, and maybe later I can figure out at what level it is, and I will share it to you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And also I want to talk about another thing, and I want to know whether it is related to your recent situation that you mentioned in the form, and also just now that you like change your life changes, and from a normal life to a maybe unfamiliar life. And can you tell me about the changes, the details?
Sure. So I guess I've always been somebody who, sorry, the sun is really bright. I guess I've always been like a doer. Like I've been somebody I've consistently really value like school and work, and I think that as much as like there are definitely new changes in my life, but um like I used to when I was in college. I mean, now I'm in my late 20s, and when I was in college, I played sports and I worked really hard at school, and I was really busy, but I was also closer to family, and there wasn't a pandemic. And I just had more of like a community and like a support system. And now that I am done with college, um, I'm still busy and I'm in grad school or law school, which is harder for me than undergrad was. And I live away from my family and I don't have this like built-in like community that I had before.
Yeah.
And um and the pandemic has been really hard for me. Like being away from family and working at a restaurant. I don't know if I mentioned that yet, but I work at a restaurant and I'm worried about that because, I mean, even like normally it's just a lot of time and it's a lot of work between school and being a waitress. And then also I'm even though I'm a healthy person, or I guess I think I'm healthy, but maybe I'm not as healthy as I think because I've been, having a hard time. But being at a restaurant is hard for me to, like, I have an increased risk of getting sick there. And then I worry, like, that I'm going to get my roommate sick or um, get sick and miss school or get sick and miss work. And I need to work because I need it to fund law school. And then I worry if I go home, like to see my family, that I will get them sick. And that's kind of nerve wracking. Like that's what I think has been a big change is I was stressed before the pandemic, but it's really made it a lot harder now.
Yes, yes. Like moving into a new situation, um, and lost connection with the previous community is itself is it's stressful and hard.
Mm-hmm.
And plus the pandemic, the things just be harder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that the first time that you actually move into a new living conditions?
Um, so in college I lived in the dorms, and then when I was out of college I worked for a few years and I like worked near home, trying to get into law school. And then when I moved away for law school, it wasn't my first time living like in a like not living in the same house as my family because I did that in college. I lived in a dorm, um, but it's been my like first time, like extended amount of time away from my family, and thankfully I live with my friend from college. Um, Thankfully I live with my friend, but um, so that's like kind of something I'm used to, but I'm not used to being this far away, and not like also not being able to go home is really hard.
So in fact, your current roommate is your previous college friend.
Mhm.
Oh, that's very lucky.
Yeah, it's nice. We played sports together in college, and um, we like we were friends in college, but then when I went to law school, she was already living in the same city, and so it was kind of it's one friend I have, and it is lucky. It's lucky.
Yeah. And have you ever talked with her uh, about your issues?
Um, yeah, I do. She's helpful, um, and she's a good friend, but she is she's busy too. She
I can imagine.
is, but also her family lives nearby, which is nice for me that they're here, but it's also like a bummer because I'm really busy, so I can't always like go with her when she sees her family. And it makes me sad, like jealous that her family's nearby and mine's not. But yeah, she's a good friend. It's a nice thing to have. I think like it's probably hard for her that in some ways I feel badly. I feel like living together is actually, I think she worries about me. Um, and I know like she doesn't want to like offend me or hurt my feelings by bringing it up, but I know that she like worries about me. And especially recently, like I don't sleep, like I said, and like I don't sleep a lot and I like eat, kind of particularly. And I think she notices and like she has told me that she's worried, but like I don't really want to make it any of her problem, and I don't want to. I don't want to add to her load either.
Like, what do you feel when she asks, noticed it, and asked you about it?
Um, I'm really glad. Like I'm happy that she can talk to me. I'm glad that she asks me. Like I'm really thankful that I have a good friend. It's really nice of her, and I'm thankful, and at the same time, like I don't want anyone to know that I'm having a hard time, and I don't want like my roommate to feel like she has to be careful around me. Like I just want it to be normal, and she also knows like that I had struggled with this kind of stuff in the past. So I feel like maybe I don't want her to tell anyone else either, like our other friends who we have together, but I trust her, but it's just like it feels like kind of overwhelming.
Mm, like you feel some guilty, or you don't want to be a burden to her.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, you know, I also like, I selfishly, like, I want people to think, like, my friends that I don't talk to as much, like, I don't want them to hear that Jackie is having a hard time, or like, I don't want them to think, like, oh, law school's too hard for Jackie because I can do it. But I don't want to be a burden, and I also like don't want people like thinking I can't do this, because like it's important to me that people know like that I can, and I don't want them to think like that this is too much for me.
Yeah. It sounds like you're proud and uh, competitive,
Yeah, I think so.
and I think it's a good thing.
Thank you. Yeah, that's sometimes I don't, sometimes it's probably not a good habit, but I think sometimes it can be good. So, thank you.
Yeah, and maybe I'm not sure. Maybe it's a part of your personality to make things perfect.
Hmm.
Like you don't want to mm, you want to be perfect in front of others, and also uh, you want to do perfect foods to to eat perfect diet. I think
Yeah,
maybe we are connected.
yeah, probably. I mean, I think I always like just, want to be, I've always like wanted, it sounds really silly, but I feel like I always want to be the best. And
It doesn't say. I think many people wants to be the best.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think I just like, I always was like that growing up and in college and high school. And like, that's part of how I know people think of me as like being successful and achieving and like doing things well. And I don't want to let that part of me go away. And yeah, I'm probably a perfectionist too. like I probably, like I know that I definitely, yeah, I am.
Yeah, and like I have one more another question about your form. You feel like I noticed that you wrote that the change that your normal life to the current life made you feel out of control, and you've been expressing that by controlling your eating to an unhealthy degree. I just want to um, uh, I want you to help me to clarify it. That does it means that uh, when you control your eating, you feel like you're able to handle your life or control your life. That does that?
Sorry, my internet keeps breaking up. Can you say that again? Does it make sense that what?
Oh yeah. Uh, I just want to make sure is that your meaning that when you control your eating, it makes you feel like you control life.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, probably. I feel like in the moment, it makes me feel better to control eating and to have like I feel like just my life has changed so much that like controlling that one thing feels like no big deal and it makes me feel better, but I also know like I think I've definitely let it get too far. Like I broke my wrist and my roommate like mentioned that I'm like that she thinks she was nice about it, but like that she thinks I have lost weight and she thinks I'm looking like she didn't say that I look unhealthy, but she just said like that I looked like maybe that I'm not well or she was worried about me and she could tell like I'm not eating I'm eating really like restricted and like working out a lot. And so then I broke my wrist and I've had to go to the hospital sometimes like for like my stomach really hurts. And that's when I realized it was like someone at the hospital mentioned that like maybe it was all related, being that I like have gotten really thin and my nutrition is just it's too restricted, like that in the end I'm probably not eating enough and I have lost weight. And um I think like that's when I started to realize that even though I feel okay in the moment, like it feels good to control my eating,
Mm-hmm.
it's costing me a lot to like go to the hospital and to like take care of my wrist and my stomach and and that like the controlling, even though it feels good, it's not really helping me.
Yeah,
It's actually making it worse.
it seems like you at least control some part of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there is a scale like from 1 point to 10, where 1 is uh, you can't control your life, and 10 is you control your life, and uh, at the present and now, uh, at what degree do you think you can control?
Well, I try. I try to control it and I can't. That's clear. Like I can't control the pandemic and I can't control law school. On a scale of 1 to 10, can I actually control my life? No. like like right now I feel like I'm at like a 2. And I think at best life can be like a 5 in that like you can't control things, but you can like you can control some things well. And I just feel like I feel like I'm not even controlling things that I should be able to normally, like eating and weight. And um, I'm doing fine in school, but I just feel like everything is spiraling out. And so at best, I think it could be a 5, and I think I'm probably at like a 2.
At best, 5 is under what condition? What
Oh,
circumstance it can be 5?
uh, like the average person, like I guess like I think that like life is always going to be kind of crazy and random. But if the scale really goes till 10,
Mm-hmm.
like at best everyone can be a 10, then I would say I'm probably at like a 4. Um, but right now I feel like I'm just not doing, like I'm trying to, and I'm not coping in a good way with it. And so I think I'm just like not even doing my best.
So your point of the scale is in fact represents that uh, it is under the average level.
Hmm.
Okay, I see. And uh, that if imagine if we imagine that you are controlling your food, you're controlling you're eating, and
Hmm.
how much will it be on the scale 1 to 10?
How much am I controlling my eating?
No, I mean
Oh,
when you are controlling your eating, and how much can you feel you control life?
oh. Hmm. Well, in that moment, it makes me feel like I'm controlled, like I'm in control. I mean, I have like usually, like if I get out of a really stressful test or like a really bad shift at work, like I'm hungry, so I want to go home and eat, but my mind is like racing and I'm hungry, and so then I go home and I like make this perfect meal and try to control it down to every little detail, and for like a little bit, I feel better, and then I like finish eating and I go back to life and I realize like it's like going on your phone when you're upset. Like it feels better for a second,
Yeah.
but like it doesn't really make you feel better. It makes you feel like it's like a band-aid, you know, but when you take the band-aid off, it's still there.
Yes, that's true. And
Mm-hmm.
it sounds like kind of hopeless
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah, I think
powerless.
sometimes.
Like we can't do anything to significantly change it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I know that like most people have a lot going on, and so I think like even with law school and all these crazy things, like it's not to say like I know that that's stressful, but I know that there are people like ways that people can handle it in a more healthy way than I am right now.
Yeah. But I think from your description, I think it seems like your control on the diet to be a big help to relieve your sense of uh, anxiety about the out of control of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, like to release, like to feel like I have control over something.
Yeah, it seems like some people use their phones to seek for entertainment, and you seek for relax by controlling, or by cooking a really decent meal.
Hmm. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know like some of my friends like they like do yoga, and I've done yoga and I like it. But I'm just in a bad like cycle or habit, whatever you want to say, of like controlling with like expressing that like control it with food.
Okay. And in fact, I need to ask you a question about like uh, cultural questions, screening question, and relationship abuse question. But I don't think these questions are suitable to this case.
Sure.
So I will just skip it.
Yeah, I've never really been like never really been suicidal and not like experienced any abuse. Um, I'm like dating someone right now, but he's a really nice guy, and I really only just started dating him, but no, none of that.
Because I found from your form you're single now, right?
Yeah, I'm not married, but I met this guy through my family friends, and he's really nice. I mean, it's kind of the part of the reason that I wanted to start going to like seek treatment, is I felt like he's a nice person and I really like him, and like it seems like it could be a good match, but I don't want to I don't want to ruin it with like what's going on in my personal life. Like I don't want that to be the reason, because in the past, like when I've dated people, that has been a reason, is like I just feel like I can't keep things together, and then I just like we end up breaking up like in the past. But he's a really nice person, like really sweet, and we get along really well, and so I just decided that I should just start seeing, like that was part of the reason I started thinking I should get some therapy.
Oh, so getting along with him is one of the motive of you coming here.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I I really I don't know, I think I just started feeling like I'm still young, I'm 27, but like I have to I don't think it's ever going to go away unless I get help. And so if I want to like, move on with my life, or if I want my life to keep going normally, like then I want like to be able to date and not feel like it's ruined by my anxiety or my eating. So yeah, it's nice. I mean, he seems like a good fit, but I just decided that I don't want any more relationships to end for that reason.
That sounds you have a really strong willingness to make your life better. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's part of being the perfectionist.
Yeah. And just one language question.
Mhm.
Single that
It's confusing.
yeah, I thought you are not in a relationship, but in fact you are in a relationship.
So I've spoken English my whole life, and sometimes this still confuses me that on official like government documents or like health forms, like at the doctor's office,
Mhm.
they will say, "Are you single, married, divorced, widowed?" So it's very strange. It is weird. So if you wrote dating, that's fine. People would know that means legally you're single, you're not married. But it's confusing because it's like your marital status. But I wondered too when I filled out that, like when I saw that for the class, I was like I wasn't sure what they meant, because like sometimes it'll say marital status, like are you married, are you single? And sometimes, and that one I think said like relationship status. but it said like single or married. And so I was like, okay, well, my character isn't married.
Oh.
But it's confusing. It's just like a weird, it's definitely misleading. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like maybe next time we can. After this interview, I will discuss with my supervisor and to find proper therapy, and I will propose it next time we meet and to discuss it, the details to say that it fit you. Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you. Good job. You did a great job.
Oh my god, I'm really nervous.
No, you did a great job.
Like, how to say that? Sweet, sweet.
Sweaty?
Yes.
Yeah.
I sweat
Yeah.
a lot. I sweat a lot.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit.
I
It's
really
nerve-wracking.
appreciate you that you proactively think anything.
I probably talk too much, but
No. If you don't say it, I don't know how to ask it out.
yeah. No, that's hard. No, I don't blame you at all. I'm nervous too. I have to be the practitioner in about 20 minutes and I'm nervous, but then I remember that they told us it's just to learn and that we can make a lot of mistakes and it would be fine. And I don't think you made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, because I prepared for it and
Yeah.
I have maybe some outlines and I want to run as the order of what I have expected. But in fact, it not go as what I have expected. So at first, like, oh my god, oh, how can it
No.
go on? But later
No.
when we talked, like we really talked about it, I just forgot it and just talk about what we're talking.
Yeah. It's hard because like I'm worried about this. Like I have all this list of stuff and then I know that if my client like starts talking about something, I have to like just answer that and like I thought you did a great job with like motivational interviewing and like strengths based statements and questions. I think it's just hard to know like where do you like keep affirming them and where do you move on? And I thought you did a great job.
Really?
Yeah. No, I really do. You did a great job.
And you're really a good client. So if
Oh.
you're a social worker to be a
Well,
client like you, he or she will be really lucky.
well, thank you. Probably because we had to, really carefully like think of what our client would be or our character would be like. I kept trying to like remember what my character would think. But anyway, you did a great job, and I'm sure that we'll both, it's just a learning experience for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it.
Definitely.
Like
Oh,
many
well,
details, do you just figure out now or you have no it?
for being the character.
Yeah.
Oh, mostly in the moment. Like I have a list of like my like things I wanted to remember about my character.
Yeah.
There's a lot that I didn't get to, but then there was like stuff that like I would try to like sit and be like, what would this person think? And I had honestly, my character is based on someone I knew, a friend, and so I just that helped. It sounds like maybe it sounds odd, but I would think about her a lot in this and try to like remember what she felt and like her experience. But you're gonna be a great client.
Okay, then I'll try. I'll try great client. I'll long
I
term.
know. I think it's not like I didn't feel. I'm more worried about my next one.
Yeah, I think being the practitioner will be harder, and that's of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought you did a great job. So hopefully you can relax a little bit the next time.
Yeah, thank you.
Not you were relaxed, I mean, but I mean for your client, when you're the client, hopefully you can just enjoy it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I'm nervous. I'm nervous because of. I think the biggest reason is language. Like I have something in Chinese, but I don't know how to say it out
Oh,
as English.
well, that is really challenging. I can't imagine, but I thought you're like it. I felt like I could, understand, and you asked really good questions, and um, my internet was the problem. But I thought your English was very good.
Thank you very much.
Well, I think we'll continue to be partners, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
next time,
All right.
it's
Well, then
all
I'll see you in a few weeks. But I hope your client character goes well.
okay. You can go to prepare for the next interview.
What did you say? Oh, you have more to read. What did you say?
Uh, I said, do you later to like about several minutes later you will be in to another interview? Is that?
Yeah. Do you have another one at 3:30?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go prepare for a little bit and then
yeah.
hopefully not be too nervous.
So, wish you everything goes well.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Nice to meet you. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye bye.